how does online fit into your plans, or does it?
For our products being art and design and it having so much story in it being made here, I felt I did go through this war in my head about should this business start online or should it be a pop-up? If it's going to be a physical thing, it has to be in the centre of London, and therefore how on earth am I ever going to launch that in the space that I need, and all that kind of thing. So I really think about online an awful lot, but for us, I think the key thing for me was a souvenir is not something that you first and foremost buy online. It's something that you go to a city, and you have this amazing experience, especially London. We're known, with one of the most highly creative communities in the world, and people come here for culture and for the best sort of art and design, on offer. And I just feel like that should be something that they should be able to walk into a shop and pick up under that narrative. So not just going to Selfridges or Liberties, but actually going to a shop that is about representing the best of that. So I really felt like there were times when I couldn't find space, and I just thought, oh God, maybe I'm doing this all wrong, and maybe, and budget-wise, it's far easier to launch online. But I really had to stick to that as a sort of a method, I suppose, to the consumer. It had to be physical in my head. So now online is tricky for us because we invest quite heavily in pop-up spaces and giving people an experience, and actually more than just, I'm always banging on about this, but more than just a transaction. So it can't be someone just comes in like you would any old, high street chain and just picks up a lovely thing from a lovely person in London and takes it to the till and then leaves. There has to be more than that, because we're not just a retailer, we're trying, and I hope we already are, an ambassador for Creative London. So when people come in, I feel like this enormous responsibility to stand there and talk about other things in London and guide people to good restaurants and other pop-ups, and because I feel like we are, that's the memory that I want, and that's what souvenirs are about. They're about emotional connections, about memories, about stories. And it is actually you get such a kick when you see all this stuff just in people's suitcases. They're always talking about, it's not going to fit my luggage, and it's all winging its way back elsewhere. So online for me, and I'm going to be really honest, sorry, I'm banging on, but I'm actually a total technophobe, and even though I work for an online retailer, I never saw for many years social media as necessarily a positive thing. And I was saying to Gabrielle before that it was this enormous revelation that when I went to set up this business, I was like, oh my God, no, actually, technology is incredible, and I can start a business from a kitchen table in 3 weeks.
Daniel, you are online. You started online?
No, I started with a pop-up shop. So my first pop-up shop was terrible. It was like shockingly bad. And having progressed through pop-up shops, I like the interaction I can actually have with a customer. Actually having that, I get customers come in and talk for an hour in the shop, wanting to explore the products and actually explore the story behind what I'm doing and the brands through that physicality, as opposed to that internet kind of communication. But I think kind of touching on what you're saying about matching up the experiences, it's got to be omni-channel in that sense. If I'm going to have online, then my offline presence has to match up. They've both got to be as premium as one another, and they've both got to tell the same story for the customer, because if not, they're confused as to what they're buying into.
So do you think it does now? Do you think that the experiences mirror each other?
We're getting ready to relaunch the website in August or September, and at that point I think that we would have nailed the kind of synergy in that sense.
Brick and mortar shop is equally important as your online or mobile app, for example. Because I think depending on what you sell, so if for example you sell cheap goods, for example below £50, so usually people tend to buy it online because you don't really care, if it's £10 or 20. But if you sell goods like Daniel just mentioned, £800 coat, so normally people would like to see it in shop, because you want to touch it.
Tell Net-a-Porter.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say, I kind of disagree just from the point that if your product looks good enough online, then people will feel attuned to actually buying it from you.
Yeah, depending on the brand, actually. For example, if you see Burberry online, you trust them.
No, but you've got to trust the retailer.
So you're a little bit further ahead in the journey in that you've done 7.
Yeah.
So how long are they live for, and how are you bringing your audience with you from place to place? What's the glue that's holding them together?
Without sounding narcissistic, I think a part of the draw is...
Oh, go on.
Oh, that's me. And I think that is a big part of it, because I've got people there's a few guys that will go past the shop if they see me pop up and they're like, "Oi, Top Knot boy, what are you doing back here again?" And they recognise me as through my appearance and the fact that I'm going to sell them something that they can trust. And the fact that I see people walking down the street with my tote bags all over their shoulder, you know, I'm not giving something. I'm a shopkeeper. I'm a retailer. I'm not trying to be the next fashion maverick. I love products and I love fashion and I love outfitting people or providing people with lifestyle goods that they're going to keep for a very long time. And I think they appreciate the honesty that I'm going to project being in that space. And I work in my shop every day because it allows me to actually understand who's buying into my product and actually who's walking away with something and what they've not appreciated. And I see retention from that because they trust me and they value my opinion. And they may then ask about my background and hearing that I've worked for Selfridges and Burberry. That then helps to kind of translate the story to them.